The president's wrapping up his West Coast swing by announcing his latest effort to bypass a deadlocked Congress and get help to the American public. In this case, the millions who are struggling to pay back student loans. John Harwood is CNBC's chief Washington correspondent. He joins me now. And John, before we start talking about the plan, I want to play a little bit of the president's remarks just a few moments ago in Denver.
All these steps aren't going to take the place of the needed action that Congress has to get going on. They're still going to have to pass this jobs bill. They've got to create jobs. They've got to grow the economy. But these executive actions we're taking can make a difference. And I've told my administration, we're going to look every single day to figure out what we can do without Congress.
And, John, so the president has now offered this student loan plan. In a nutshell, will this make a big difference?
It will make some difference for more than 1 million students in the estimation of the administration, save a few $100s a month by consolidating, lowering the interest rates for some, also lowering the rates of repayment from discretionary income and shortening the time that those borrowers have to repay that money. But as the president indicated, it's not a substitute for broader improvement in the economy. The growing crisis in student loans is a symptom of the economic sickness that we're experiencing right now, but these steps aren't a cure for it. If you're president of the United States, however, unemployment's 9.1%. You can't just sit there and do nothing. He's trying to do something since Congress isn't cooperating with him on his other agenda.
Right, he's trying to do something substantively by offering some of these policy provisions we've seen this week. But he's also, of course, making an argument now, a political argument about Congress. And to a certain extent, the American people seem to be with him. Let's look at the latest CBS New York Times poll, which shows disapproval of Congress at all-time highs, 84%. Only 9% approve of Congress, and the president's numbers aren't great, but in comparison to Congress, I mean, when you see numbers like that, you kind of scratch your head and wonder why it is that Congress hasn't seemed to get the message that the American people want it to come up and do something, accomplish something.
Part of it, Savannah, is the nature of Congress and how congressional districts are drawn, because national numbers showing people don't like Congress obscure the partisan divide. So many districts that are represented by Republican members like what those members are doing, likewise with the Democrats. So the president, we've seen this in the summer when we had the debt limit debate. He was making some progress with public opinion, convincing people that he had some of the right solutions, but that didn't translate into effective pressure on Congress to do something and act. You're right, the president does have an advantage as he grows in the arguments that he's making using that bully pulpit against Congress. He'll have an even better opportunity when he gets a Republican nominee to run against next year. But the likelihood is, given this economy, given the weakness in his numbers, this is going to be a negative campaign that is won or lost on the negative, how each side defines the other side, rather than a positive campaign.
And very quickly, I mean, where does it stand in terms of the president's jobs plan? Obviously, the effort to get all of it passed in one big package failed. Are any of these provisions likely to get through the Congress?
I still think, Savannah, at the end of the day, and this is why it's sequenced last, I think, in the process, the payroll tax cut, which is the bulk of the dollars the president has proposed, is likely to get through in a compromise with Republicans. But Democrats want to string out this fight a little bit longer, take a few more political shots at the Republicans before they get to that compromise point.
All right. CNBC's John Harwood with the headlines from Washington. John, thank you.